and
Well, it changes everything that we do too, because we're bumping elbows and fists and all that now, where it's always been hugs and
right.
yeah.
We haven't even begun. We're just looking into the future right now, going, "Oh, really? Are we going to do that too, like what they did in China, maybe?"
Actually, the public health people have great powers, which we have never really experienced. They can pull out of their hat martial law, so to speak. They can make you stay in your home and force you to stay there. There are certain rules on the books that have never been really tried or tested, but it's a possibility they could be. And that might, in liberal-minded Marin County, might be a little difficult for people to accept.
I think that'd be very difficult. I think that's and thank you for jumping right into that element, that issue, because so I hadn't even really reflected on that potent power.
Yeah.
Now, this is what they did in China, from what I understand, just reading some stuff, that they actually almost sealed people in their houses or something. I hope I didn't hear that, but I think I might have heard that. Did you hear something about that?
Oh, yeah. No, they are restricted to their homes.
No, they were physically.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, let's say you're somebody who's lucky, who lives out in the country, you know, and this is all going down, and they're saying, "Fine, all right, I'm gonna stock up with some food. I'm not gonna go into town for a while. Fine, but no, you can't tell me to not walk out of my house and, you know, wander around the yard or even walk down the country block."
Yeah.
But
no, it depends on where you are.
they wouldn't be doing that. But the urban,
if you're in an apartment building,
urban issues would be different.
Urban issue, you can't go to the park.
Oh my!
You can't wander out on the street.
Oh my God! I'm starting to ponder this now.
Yeah. No, it for the sake of everybody.
Yeah.
It seems reasonable, especially if if you have the symptoms. So.
Oh boy! It's really coming back to, okay, let's redress that, and it's what and you said it beautifully. We're at a point where we understand our impact on the earth. Not all people do. I mean, you know, if those of us who see the earth and feel the earth and see the passages of time and see the damage that's being done in it, you know, you don't need to be a wizard. You drive down the southern Sierras and see all the dead trees, or you you see all around you collapse and this great extinction that we're seeing. And I don't read those books. I refuse to have anybody tell me any bad news anymore. I only want good news. And the good news is that we have the technology, we have the urgency of now, and that it really comes down to, we need to have a new way of making ourselves happy. You know, we started talking about the coronavirus, that what's important to ourselves. You know, maybe village life wasn't so bad after all.
Village life, but what's opening up for the younger generations in this next century, hanging their kids. They're already, a friend of mine who's an environmentalist and ecologist, in a discussion here, was mentioning her trip to London and finding so many young people who took ecology so personally responsible in their choices of not having a car, not living with plastic. I mean, they were making this fundamental choice, and as she put it, they're putting it on their own shoulders, that they were going to work this change. And I feel like there are people across the planet who feel that. There's a few who even do. There's the whole homeless community. God bless those souls who are.
No, I just,
you know,
makes
but
me cry.
But in a way, I don't want to. No, I can only go away from that. But small is beautiful. You know, Schumacher said that. Decentralization, going back to the grid. To me, that is like the next mission up to get this through to Sacramento as well, is to build the California grid for through this next century that is going to actualize all this decentralization. It's going to give the green light to neighbors hooking up with neighbors, and even give the green light for completely disconnecting from the grid and being.
Well, we take ownership of the grid. That's the essence. Right now, instead of becoming, because in so many ways we abdicate responsibility for many things. I see this 21st century as an age of abdication.
Perfect. I agree with you.
You know, we abdicate. We pay someone to to mow our lawns. We pay somebody.
Lost their control of their own fire, like the cave people. We no longer had the fire. It's like, okay,
yeah. And when the more money you got, the less power you have, because you give it all away. And it is this sense of belonging, sense of responsibility, and it's a you know, and it's not, to me, and this is where I've been wanting to write this article for years. It's actually my wife and we kind of met over this article, and we've never really written it. But the article is, it's the end of the age of convenience. I mean, we thought of this 10 years ago, and it's just as relevant then as it is now. But what's so convenient about losing your downtown to a flood? What's so convenient about having your boy die of diabetes when he's 35 because he's had the wrong food? What's so convenient about all this convenient life of having